Well, there are a variety of tree types here in the Panhandle today. We're asking the Tree Geek about the best and the worst. Certified Master Arborist Jake is in the house with Jacob Tree. We're so glad that you're here.
Yeah.
I was bragging about you the other day to somebody. You know your trees, you know your stuff. So let's go down the most common trees that we find in our area.
Okay, and I think we have some pictures too.
Okay.
So I believe the first one, well, I guess let's take a step back.
Okay.
So the first thing is to make sure you're planting the right tree for the right purpose.
Okay.
Right tree, right place. So no giant shade trees underneath power lines. So you got to think where you want your shade, where you need some ornamental, all that stuff. So just right tree, right place. Huge deal.
Or what happens is like my situation where I didn't plant the tree, but the tree was really big and the electric company came in and split it.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yep.
All right, so let's get to the pecan tree. I've got one of these in my yard.
Pecan trees are great, and this isn't necessarily in order. So this is
unless they're not.
This is a no. This is on the good list.
Okay.
This is a good list. So pecan trees do very well in our area, and you can even select different varieties that don't get as tall, that don't get as wide.
Wow, really?
So I mean, yeah, there's probably 18 different pecan varieties that'll actually do great here. So pecan tree, if you want an old school type of tree, that nostalgia, they do wonderful.
And the squirrels in our neighborhood love us because of it, so that's good.
Absolutely.
What about the red oak?
So red oaks are absolutely wonderful. They're what I call generational trees. They do fantastic here. They're not going to be as fast growing. So if you just put up a house in the colonies and you want a really fast growing tree,
that ain't happening.
Red oak is not the one for you.
Okay.
But they do wonderful.
But you can come back and enjoy it 20 years from now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What about the willow?
Okay, willow's on the bad list. Willow's a bad tree.
Really?
So they grow really fast, and therefore their wood is very weak. And so we get a lot of breaking. And then if you plant a willow and you're going to be in that house for the next 25 years, you're going to pay somebody a couple $1,000s to remove that tree while you're still living in that house. That's how fast they grow.
Good night.
So they get big fast, and they're great on ponds and stuff, but they just don't need to be in a landscape.
Okay, how about bur oak?
Bur oak is one of my favorites. I try to get people to plant them. I selected the picture of the acorn because this is the reason most people will not plant them. The acorns are huge. I mean, it's like a golf ball, maybe bigger.
Yeah, I feel like that's something off the Discovery Channel. At first, I didn't know what I was looking at. It could have been a lot of different things, but I'm glad that it is what you say.
We had some growing up, and they were definitely weapons, projectiles in my household with the boys. We had a good time with the bur oak.
All right, so. I grew up with this next tree out at Boys Ranch. We had a lot of cottonwoods out there.
I selected this. This is also on the bad list. This is the cotton on the ground from Cottonwoods. Cottonwood's another one that grows really fast, so you're going to probably have to pay somebody to remove it. Yeah. They do wonder, like Boys Ranch, there's a great story, the story of Old Tascosa. I can't remember that, but it talks about the guy who actually planted those trees from switches at Boys Ranch.
Wow.
Really cool.
We've got tons of them, but when it gets that time, and you can see it in Wolfland sometimes too, it is just like it's snowing. You just have so much of it.
Oh yeah, all over your air conditioner. It's bad.
All the places you don't want. How about the locust tree? Locust
trees are wonderful, and especially the Shade Master locust. You're not going to get your beans or your thorns out of a Shade Master. Not necessarily one of my personal favorites, but they sure do really well in the Panhandle.
Do you like the red bud?
I love red buds. My daughter, that's the first tree she learned, and she calls
like
it
red buds, and you
red
cannot
bud.
lie. Okay.
Oh, they're absolutely beautiful in the spring. I mean, they're knockout. That's my replacement for a pear. If you want flowers, do a red bud.
Okay, very good. I've never even heard of a lace bark elm.
Okay, lace bark elms. That's what you're going to see. I use that picture because of the bark detail. I mean, how beautiful is that?
That's
Especially
beautiful.
in the winter, you still get some nice detail.
Okay.
They grow super fast, but they don't break, which is kind of an oxymoron in the tree world. Yeah, beautiful tree.
Ornamental pear.
Ornamental pears on the bad list. That's your Bradford pears. That's what you see. Everybody loves them. They're so pretty in the spring with the beautiful white flowers, but they get chlorosis. They don't live very long. So as an arborist, if I was sinister, I would say everybody plant a Bradford pear because they make me a lot of money.
They make you a ton of money.
Absolutely.
There you go. But
great money
because
maker.
you're honest and ethical, you're saying, I love that.
Don't plant a Bradford pear if you can avoid it.
All right, what's our last tree?
I don't know.
The Chinese.
Oh, Chinese pistache. Look at that.
That's
fall
beautiful.
Color. Absolutely knockout gorgeous. So they're kind of in between a shade tree and an ornamental. So they get pretty big, but not too big. Just really hardy, beautiful, reliable, and look at that fall color. It's just amazing.
All right, so we get to talk to our tree geek every once in a while. You can talk to him anytime you want because you can give him a call. If you're looking at planting trees or you want him to come look to make sure your trees are doing well, we have to take care of them. It's not something we just let them grow. We need to make sure that they're treated well. Again, we don't have a whole lot of trees here on the high plains, so let's take care of the ones we got.
Absolutely.
And plant more.
Absolutely.
Coming up next, are you looking for a fall vacation?